What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. We are live coming at you from Germany. That's right, where it is just about midnight. Yes, I decided to go a few minutes early tonight. Give you a little bit of extra Dave, because who doesn't want a little bit of extra Dave in their life, right? Oh shit, gotta turn down my freaking thing. Nope. Forgot to pause my thing. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. I am having one as well. Let me fix my camera a bit. There we go. So it's kind of a sad evening. Well, not kind of. It is an absolute sad evening. There's a whole bunch of sad things happening. And instead of, I'm probably not even going to watch SmackDown tonight. I'm probably not even going to do the SmackDown review. I feel that the best thing that I can allocate my time to tonight was coming on and talking about two major influences in the wrestling and music industry. Two who had profound impacts on my lives, and I have stories about for completely different reasons. It's pretty crazy. The first thing I want to do, before anything else, I want to make a correction. It looks like Conor McGregor is actually not going to be retiring, and the whole situation is just about him not wanting to promote. He just wants to fight and not promote. So for those of you who watched last night's episode, a little bit of recap from that, a little bit of update. Second point of agenda, before we get into anything else about celebrating the life and times of Chyna and Prince, which I think this is what really should be about. You know, I think that's what everything should be talked about. I do want to talk about something that is utterly pissing me off with this situation. And it's the fact that everybody seems to be in this mindset that the WWE is absolutely a lose-lose situation, which I have to admit should not be the case. It shouldn't be the situation. I think it's actually very unfair to the WWE, and I'll tell you why. And this is not one of those situations where I'm just protecting the WWE. I'm kissing the WWE's ass. No. This is straight logic. Okay, look. Triple H, Chyna, and most officials in WWE, you cannot find one quote, one damn thing where they said anything bad about Chyna. Chyna, it's terrible that she's dead. It is awful. It's horrible. Chyna was a troubled woman. An unbelievably talented woman who paved the way for just about every woman who came after her. Okay? Chyna is this amazing trailblazer, trendsetter, and all of these things. You can't say enough about her professionally. Personally, it's a different and very tragic tale. Now, whether you want to believe her side of story with the relationship stuff with Triple H or the other side of the story, it's more than likely somewhere in the middle. There's no reason in the world why Triple H should be vilified because he fell in love with another woman. Shit like that happens all the time, and that's just a reality. But that notwithstanding, it doesn't excuse the things that Chyna would go on to say and do, and even aside from those things that she would say about Triple H, Stephanie, and many other people within the WWE, most things that she would say that she would later recant whenever it was appropriate to her. But not only with that, it was Chyna made a lot of bad decisions. Constant bad decisions. And it's unfortunate very possibly those decisions caught up with her and took her life at a very, very young age. There's no way to describe how sad that is. It's hard to talk about, man. It's unbelievably hard to talk about. But it seems like this backlash that Stephanie and Triple H are getting for merely writing, like they can't express remorse over her life being cut short. If they don't have the right to do that, I think that's insane. I think that's crazy that they are being so vilified, and all these things that are coming out like, well, if the WWE doesn't do a tribute, then they're dicks. If the WWE does do a tribute, then they're dicks. It's this double-edged sword. Of course, the WWE is going to do a tribute. She's one of the most important female, or hell, just pure wrestling figures in the history of the industry. And she dies at the age of 45, and it's absolutely tragic. There will be a tribute. There absolutely should be a tribute, because yes, they're going to get some backlash, and people are going to point to what Triple H said about how she's not going to get into the Hall of Fame anytime soon because of like the porn stuff and things. And people are going to rip him for that, even though I thought he handled that very loaded question about as well as he could have. All right. That was a very difficult question, and I feel like he absolutely handled the right way. Now, SF Man just said, if it was an overdose, then WWE shouldn't do anything. I don't agree with that. They absolutely should still honor her memory in the ring. They don't have to talk about her personal life. They're not going to talk about her personal life outside of making some references to her troubled past. But there definitely should be a package and a tribute to her, no matter what the cause of death turns out to be. By the way, speaking of cause of death, there's the rumors going around are drug related. However, the police report, which you can go see for yourself, makes no mention of drugs. In fact, the one thing that it does say is that there was no illegal drugs found in the property. None whatsoever. Zero. None. Now, they're investigating the possibility of this being an overdose because of her past, her history with drugs. Now, there have been people who have come out and said that there is some worry that she was back on some bad drugs as of late, but even that's unsubstantiated. We don't know yet. We're not going to know. We're not going to know for a while. Who knows what that's ultimately going to lead to? And here's the big thing about Chyna, and one of the reasons why they were never going to put her in the Hall of Fame while she was alive. There was no chance in the world that they were going to give her a live microphone. And honestly, I cannot blame them for that. I can't blame them for not wanting to put a live microphone in her hands, because who knows what she would have said. They were unbelievably worried to put a live microphone in Alundra Blaze's hands. And she's not a known drug addict. Unfortunately, Chyna has had it's what she's been in the past. You weren't able to calculate what she was gonna do. It's a hard situation. It's a tough situation. But I think that by doing nothing, by not referencing it all, the WWE would look way worse. The fact that Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, which can't be easy for them, knowing the backlash that they were going to get, could not be easy to say anything about her death. But the WWE also doing that as well. They didn't need to. They could have justified their claims with some of the things that Chyna said, but they're trying to be different. They're trying to bridge gaps. And here's the thing. She is definitely going to go to the Hall of Fame sometime. She always was going to. But now I feel it'll be a little bit sooner. I don't know if it's going to be next year. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Pittsburgh Boys asking, have they confirmed what she died of? No, nobody knows what she died of yet. It's far too soon. Far too soon. And she was apparently laid up there for a couple of days, man. So, I mean, nobody heard from her since Sunday, and then they found her body yesterday. So the rumors are an overdose, but there is nothing found at the scene that would say that it was an overdose. There was no illegal drugs found in the home. There was some prescription drugs, but nothing all that bad from what I understand so far. We're going to find out. It definitely could have been an overdose. It could have been something from her past drug use that caught up to her. I mean, when you do a lot of drugs, you do a lot of shit that messes you up, it takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, all these things that are important to keeping you, what I like to call, the fuck alive. So who knows? We'll find out at some point exactly how she died. And it would not surprise me if it was drug related, but I certainly hope not. But that's about all the ugliness I wanted to touch on. I don't really want to talk about the ugliness too much because there's going to be a lot of it. On Raw, I'm sure there'll be some kind of tribute. I wouldn't be shocked if some kind of package was played at the beginning of SmackDown. It wouldn't shock me. I know for the Canadian viewers that already watched SmackDown, it wasn't on that because Chyna hadn't died yet. But for the episode of SmackDown that's about to be aired here in 2 hours, it wouldn't shock me if there was a package made for her. There absolutely should be either a package, a tolling of the bells, something. Because she was, for a good period of time, she was the most over person, one of the most over people in the company. It's absolutely terrible. Chyna changed now I want to get into things a little bit more, celebratory with Chyna and with Prince, who I'm going to talk about because I got quite a story to tell about Prince. But Chyna she was so different. She was so different, and she was so willing to be that kind of foil for DX. She would take the jokes. She didn't mind having a manly presence, but at the same time, evolving into a real feminine thing, a real feminine presence. It was nice to see that, and how DX was very accepting and accommodating of her and putting her over many, many times. Many wrestlers, male wrestlers, put her over quite a bit. And you know what, to be completely honest, she carried quite a few people in the ring and with some of her actions as well. I mean, it was pretty damn incredible what she was able to do on so many different fronts. I mean, whether she was wrestling men or women, she just really had a way of doing some incredible things. It's unbelievably sad. She changed the way that I looked at women in wrestling. It was like, who did we have before Chyna? You had, if you were a big woman in wrestling, you were Bertha Faye. You were Bull Nakano. You were these big, burly, heavy-set women. Chyna was, at first, yes, she looked very manly. In fact, most people thought she was a man. And apparently, Demetrius Johnson, one of the champions in UFC, still thinks that he's a man, or she was a man, because he made a reference about that. To see her start where she did and then evolve into a very feminine character, and hell, sexy character. She became unbelievably sexy. I had that Playboy issue, and I loved it. And let's just say the pages got sticky. She bridged the gap, because all we had up into her, if you wanted a big, powerful woman, were these unsexy, unflattering women. And then you had somebody like Alundra Blaze, who was a little bit more masculine in the way she carried herself, but didn't have the physique and the presence that a Chyna had. And then that Chyna was able to kind of evolve into this performer that could go with the men. I mean, you got to remember, she had some amazing, not good, amazing matches with Eddie Guerrero, with Chris Jericho. She had some really great feuds with those people. And then going back to women the way she did, and putting over Tori and all just like this incredible stuff that she was able to do. You can't say enough about what Chyna was able to accomplish. I started getting Sable in the brain there for a second. If I'm a little flustered, it's because this day has not been an easy day. I haven't been able to get on. I wanted to go much earlier, but XSplit has been telling me to go fuck the entire day. I've had one of the worst pain days that I've had in a very long time. And then seeing Chyna pass out, that's how I woke up this morning. And then after that, finding out that Prince died. Prince became an unbelievably big influence on me. Huge influence. And I didn't even like him up until about 2002. I liked his music. I wasn't a huge fan of his. And then my buddy, my roommate in the Army, one of my first roommates, really cool guy. He was older, from Chicago, just like me. We got along really well. He dragged me to Prince. He was a huge Prince fan. He bought these tickets for the sound check and for the actual show. And he was like, you gotta go. I gotta take you. You have to go check it out. And I was like, no, I don't want to go. Screw that. And the funny thing is, after a good amount of time, I decided, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to go, and I am going to see what the hubbub about Prince is, So he drags me to this concert, and it was in Cologne, Germany. And we went to the sound check, and that's when I realized what type of musician Prince was. That's when I really realized that this guy was one of the greatest musicians of all time. Because he played every instrument on the stage. The way he talked in German and in English to the German crowd was incredible. He made jokes. There was a lot of levity there. And then just seeing what he was able to do with the different instruments on the stage, being able to play them with mastery and all these things. Then all the stories that you hear about the creative genius that was Prince and all these things. His music was inspirational. It made you think. It made you dance. It brought out emotions. It was really quite incredible what his music is still able to do. Prince was also an unbelievably weird guy. There's a great story about Prince that Kevin Smith tells. Kevin Smith filmed a documentary on Prince that will never see the light of day. It's one of the most fascinating stories you will ever hear. I highly recommend you go check out Kevin Smith talking about Prince. It's hysterical. It really is. It's hysterical. It's a great story. I hope that he talks about him on his channel soon too. I really want to hear what he has to say about this because it's incredible. Man, I'm very conflubbered right now. My head is just messed up. I thought that I would feel a lot better being able to finally go live. I've been trying to go live all day today, but XSplit was being an absolute dickhead. Could not go live. It was awful. I thought going live would make me feel better because usually coming on here and talking about things that were in my head, and I had a lot of stuff that I was rattling around that I wanted to talk about, but I can't seem to really focus. I can't seem to be able to gather any of that shit up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the phone lines. If you guys want to call in, talk about Chyna, talk about Prince, talk about anything you like, really. Now's the time. Call in on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or use the number 702-751-2902. I want to hear from you guys. What are your favorite moments? You can also put in the chat. What are your favorite moments from Chyna, from Prince? Let's honor these two. Let's have a celebration about these two. Let's have an amazing party in honor of these two who had such huge influence on their industries, and both dying at a relatively young age. Prince, 57 years old. Think he's a hell of a lot older than that, but only 57 years old. Chyna, 45. It really is absolutely awful. SF Man's pissing me off. Dave, didn't you say that you're going to make all your shows 11 Eastern time? No, actually I didn't, dickhead. If you want to try and stick a fucking fork into me and try to pigeonhole me and tell me that I did something that I didn't do, at least go back and get the information correct, because no, I didn't. What I said was on non-fucking review nights that I would be going at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I have been, but really it's only been a couple of days. And if I'm hurting, I'm not going to do it. So don't piss me off. I'll do what I want when I want to. That's what I'll do. How about that? That's what I'll do. I'll do what the fuck I want when the fuck I want to. Jesus, how many times was he going to fucking write that? You want to get my attention? Now you got my attention. There you go. Josh Hampton says he tried to call. No, you didn't. Oh, I don't have my Skype on. I don't have my Skype on. I apologize for that. Give me a second. Skype's coming up. Yeah, it's hard to take calls when you don't have your Skype on. I was like, nobody wants to call? Nobody wants to talk about this? Amazing. Skype is on now, so I can take your calls on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or, of course, use the number 702-751-2902. Apologize for that. I'm very sorry, but we're good now, so let's go ahead and get up on this thing. Go ahead and call in. My bad, folks. My bad. There we go. First caller of the night. Let's get right into it. Ed Rage Hardy. Ed Rage Hardy, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Man, dude, this is just really sad.
It's a real kick in the dick, isn't it?
Yeah, I was actually up like last night, like late, and then I see the news coming in, and I'm like, no way, it was just fucked up.
It's one of those things where it's like the Chyna thing. It happened in the middle of the night. Like not a lot of people knew it. Like I woke up and saw it and was like, oh fuck. And it's been weighing on me all day. Because I knew that this was going to be a real heated thing. Like people are going to be talking about this, and the fact that most people are talking about the WWE's reaction, and they're getting buried for it, which I think is ridiculous, and it's overshadowing that this woman is dead. It kind of disgusts me. So I want to make the biggest statement that I've been wanting to make. It's called fuck the IWC. All right? Because these people are fucking cretins, man. They're absolutely, and I know that I realize I'm a part of it, but fuck me too, because it's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what some of these people are doing. God damn, man. It's like Triple H is not allowed to mourn someone that he once loved, that he was with for a long time. Yeah, he didn't end up with her, but why was he obligated to do so if he found someone else that he was in love with? So what? He moved the fuck on. Jesus. There's no evidence that he treated her bad. She's gone back and forth on some of the shit that she said over the years that what he did and didn't do. So there's no evidence that he ever treated her goddamn bad.
I don't really blame the WWE much for anything, because
you had to protect the brand. You got to protect your company.
I understand.
She's been a fucking train wreck, man. This is sad, but she's been an absolute train wreck.
It saddens me that it's now like the recognition, and I understand why now, but it's just okay. Let's wait. It's basically like the Randy Savage thing, They had to wait until he died to then maybe put him in the Hall of Fame.
Well, the funny thing is they didn't have to wait till he died. They waited till he died because up until the fucking day he died, he continued to do videos talking about how he wanted to fight Triple H, how he wanted to fuck Stephanie, how he wanted to fight Hulk Hogan. If you continue to act crazy, you're not going to, the door is never going to be open. Look at all the people that have had these huge feuds with the WWE who've said reprehensible things about Vince McMahon and other people within the organization, and then have come back and gotten jobs. Look at, I know that he's a friend of Triple H, but look at the Road Dogg Jesse James, who he and Billy Gunn did the VKM Mafia shit, the VKM Mafia shit in TNA, where they were just saying some of the worst fucking things I've ever heard about Vince McMahon. They were saying on the air for ratings. They both came back to the company. Macho Man would have been brought back to the company, I do believe, had he had stopped being fucking nuts all the time. But even without it, he still got to the Hall of Fame once he passed. I mean, it's just kind of it's a bad situation, but he doesn't have an open microphone. You can put him in and you can do it. You can control the situation, and that's okay. That's okay. Bruno Sammartino, they bridged the gap and brought him in. Sonny got in. So many fucking people got in who nobody thought. The Ultimate fucking Warrior got in while he was alive. Who thought that was going to be a possibility? You know, it's crazy. So I don't think that there's a doubt in my mind that she would have eventually gotten in had she had cleaned herself up. But she was still being trying to use the whole situation with the Hall of Fame to make a movie and to be self-exploitive and all of these things instead of just cleaning her shit up.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, man. You know, it just fucking sucks. You know, the Chyna was just one of those girls that just proved to everybody like that women can just do it as well as men. You know,
Well, not
I may
all
have
women.
not been.
She was
Yeah,
special.
obviously.
Right? Let's clear that right now because while Chyna was her real gift was, what Chyna really did was say, you don't have to look like Sunny or Sable or any of these other models to be
Yeah,
a
basically.
star. And she became a huge star despite her shortcomings in the look department, some would say. And she became a sex symbol. She was on the fucking cover of Playboy, for Christ's sake. I mean, she became everything that you could ever want to be in the world of entertainment. And she did it on her terms. So I applaud the shit out of her.
China was a very special woman.
Very
It
special.
was it was simple as that. You know, I may have not been alive or watching wrestling when it was her time at her prime or anything, but you know, since there's a WWE network and there's a YouTube, so of course I'm gonna know who China is
Of
and what she
course.
did. So seeing all that footage I see, all the old footage, because I'm a wrestling nerd. So and then things like this happen, you know, like it's fucking horrible. It's horrible.
It is. And then having the Prince thing piggyback it, you know, it was just it's a rough situation, and you know it sucks getting old because this is just going to happen more and more. Within the next 5 to 10 years, there's a good possibility that we're going to see guys like Jim Ross, Ric Flair, Vince McMahon. We're going to see these guys fucking die within the next 10 to 15 years, more than likely.
And that's also kind of
We're gonna go
fucking
through
suck.
all of this shit. It's horrible.
Yes. Yeah. But it was just sad that China had to die at that young age as well. You know.
Yeah, but you know, I lament that, and I feel bad for the situation but she made her choices in life, man. She made her choices in life. And that's the important thing. That's the lesson that I think really needs to be taken from this is you look at a woman who had all the opportunity, all the talent, all the charisma, all of the shit that you could possibly want in life. And then off of one or two situations, allow your life to go into this snowball downhill into where it's this giant boulder from the beginning of fucking Indiana Jones. And there's no stopping it. And you're just hurtling towards this abyss. That became Chyna's life. And it would have been really nice to see that third act, that redemption, because we love to see new stars get made. We love to see new stars in any entertainment. We love to see them get made. We like to see them rise and burn bright. And then we'd love to see them fucking crash to the earth. We'd love to see that fall. But you know the thing that people like to see most is that third act, that redemption. When we get to see these people that we worshipped and then vilified pick themselves up and show the true fucking nature of what a human being is, that relentlessness. And I believe that she would have done it one day. I believe she would have got her shit together. I really do. Because we saw her get her shit together in the past, so it means it was inside of her. It would have happened eventually. She was only 45. It would have been amazing to see that happen at some point. And it's a fucking shame that we'll never see it.
Yeah. Well, man, I'll leave you to your show and anything. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, no problem, Ed. I appreciate it, buddy.
Man. I'll see you later.
Take it easy, pal. Ed Rage Hardy, everybody. Ed Rage Hardy. Feel free to anybody else who wants to call in, share some of their favorite moments of Chyna, the ninth wonder of the world. And if you want to talk about Prince, I'm more than open to that as well. Whatever you guys want to talk about. It's kind of one of those nights where I'm just kind of here. I need you guys there for me. And I'm here for you guys, man. I'm not handling it very well. Like, I'm very upset. Mr. Blastoff said she was 46, not 45. No, actually, she wasn't. She turns 46 in fucking December. She just turned 45 this last December. Go do your fucking homework, then come back to me, Mr. Blastoff. Jesus fucking Christ. 718, you're live with Dead on Dave. 718, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
What's going on, Dave? I'm really upset that Prince died, and I actually liked him considering how young I am, and I probably shouldn't know about him as much as I know about him, but I loved every song he basically did. And he was probably my favorite, and probably in the top 5 performers of all time, like live in concert.
Oh, he was amazing live. The best show I've ever seen was Prince, man. It was, and I got dragged to it. Did not want to go. Amazing fucking show.
He's probably one of the best live performers in concerts I'd probably ever. And I always wanted to see him, but
well, you haven't seen him. How could you know if he was good in concert? Get the fuck out of here.
That kid needs fucking help.
I love throwing Joe Martin over the top rope. Thank you, Joe Martin, for giving me that ability to throw you over the top rope. I really needed to do that. My good buddy from XLT Live Podcast, Too Tall, he's here now. What's up, man? I'm all kinds of fucking depressed.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I wonder whatever could be getting
You know what? I'm angry.
What are you angry about?
I'm angry that so many of these leechy cocksuckers on YouTube took Chyna's death and monetized the shit out of it and did 3 videos in an hour about it. And I'm pissed right now. And then on top of that, all the fucking dumb fans, and yes, those of you out there who are talking dumb shit and can't sit there and respect somebody's life.
Yeah.
And all you can do is think back to what happened 15, 17 years ago. Yeah. In a business altercation or whatever happened between Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and Chyna, that's so far back in the past, and it's just the smallest part of this whole story and her story. But all you fucking bitches want to do is focus on that. You don't want to focus on celebrating her life. You don't want to focus on the good shit. And if it's not about the WWE thing, it's about the drug abuse or it's about the porn. You don't want to focus on what she did, the pioneer that she was in wrestling, and what she and how many people she's inspired. Yeah, you can look this way and still accomplish something. You can be a bodybuilder and accomplish things in this business. So for all of you cock bitches out there who make these videos, 3, I saw a dude last night. I don't want to say, I was going to say it on my show today, but I don't want to say it because it's your show. So I don't want to bring anything to you. Saw a douchebag last night post 3 fucking videos about an update this, update that. Well, there was no updates.
There was no updates.
There was no such thing.
In fact, everybody was getting it wrong. TMZ's fucking assholes, by the way. Because the official police report, which you can read with your own 2 fucking eyes, say nothing about fucking overdose. Nothing. In fact, the only thing that says about drugs is that there was no illegal drugs found in the house.
Yeah, if you read TMZ, they said possible overdose due to her prior drug abuse.
Yes, her prior. And then everybody took that and fucking ran with it. She fucking died. Look, the reality is she probably
That's what happens. TMZ's smart. We don't know. TMZ's smart.
They wanted hits. Yeah,
they wanted hits. That's what I said on my when I did the thing last night. It was like 1, 2 in the morning when this stuff hit, and people were like, I literally got like Twitter messages like out the ass. I got fucking tweets. I'm like, dude, did you know about this? What are you gonna do? We're gonna talk. So I open up the forum to kind of get people, the people that watch my show in and kind of like vent a little bit and talk a little bit and, and be sad with me or whatever. And I said, yeah, TMZ's saying this, but we don't know. So don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't jump on this. Oh, it must be an overdose because she did drugs, in the past.
Is there a possibility? Probably. I mean, but we don't know. There's no possible way of knowing. Look, I think the entire story of Chyna is something to tell. The entire story. It's an amazing fucking story when you look at it, and I really wish we could have got a 3rd act to it. I believe she would have got her shit together eventually. And I would have loved to have seen that. I would have loved to have seen her standing next to the rest of the Hall of Famers like she probably should have been a long time ago, or at least recently. But she'll get enshrined now because she can't wield the fucking.
And that's another
light.
thing. If there's anything, if there's anything to be disappointed about is that it takes a death for somebody to realize, for WWE to realize or recognize Chyna for what she did, for the business. That's the sad. That's even.
Well, they never trashed her as far as her business stuff. I mean, like, in fact, they have mentioned Chyna with certain things about how influential she's been. It's not like they've ever hidden away from that.
Well, they didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't go.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's some people that get a different type of conversation on, let's say, commentary when there's somebody in the ring. Then she never got that type of conversation.
Well,
she
no,
might have mentioned
it's
here
the
and there,
same
but she
reason
never
why
got
Macho
that
Man
type.
didn't when he was alive, because up until the time the Macho Man died, he was still making videos talking about how he wanted to fuck Stephanie and beat up Triple H. Chyna was still making videos every now and then, going fucking crazy. What are you supposed to do when the person that deserves recognition for things they did continues to be a detriment to everything around them? You could only do so much. I get it. It's a hard situation. It's not easy. And I think it's fucking low-lifey of people to go to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's Twitter when all they did was very nice messages about Chyna's death. And have you read some of these comments?
Yeah, they're
disgusting.
Absolutely douchebag down. Like, those people are the lowest form of life on this fucking planet. You attack somebody because somebody has the respect to recognize a death.
Which could not have been easy for them to do. Could not have been. They knew how awkward it was going to be.
Yeah, and they still did it. And you know what the fucked up part is with the internet and how fucking douchebag and cunty everybody is? If they didn't say anything, look at these fucking people. They're not even going to acknowledge her death. Whoa, what kind of fucking piece of shit are they? Either way, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, it's a lose-lose situation for them. I commend them.
Ways.
I'm glad that Stephanie said something. I'm glad that Triple H says something. It's a respectful thing to do when somebody passes away, whether you're not in good terms with them or not, and you had a previous relationship with them. It's a respectful thing. Absolutely. And these fuckbags on the internet, they don't get that because they're fucking 12 and they don't understand anything past the fucking internet. All they know is how to log into YouTube and fucking fap off to their dicks. They don't know life. They never fucking been through a situation in their life. And they're just sitting here bitching. I can't believe these bitches have the balls to go on their Twitter like, you're going to recognize her now since he's dead, you fucking asshole? Like, who says that to people? What kind of person? Something like that 5 years ago, like, you don't have the balls to do it in real life. If somebody said, let's just take Twitter and make it a real life conversation, you would get knocked the fuck out immediately and you would get beaten down for it.
And people are more than welcome to have their opinions, but to express them like that, look, the reality is Triple H was once with this woman. He loved her. She loved him. They had something together. Now, it didn't work the fuck out. Relationships goddamn break up. And he went on and found somebody that he's been married to for a very long time. They got beautiful children together. He found fucking happiness. That it is not his fault that Chyna's life went the way it did. It's not his fault that Chyna made bad life choices after that moment. Does it suck the way things happen in life? Abso-fucking-lutely. But that's just the way shit is sometimes. And it's personal accountability. It is not Triple H's fault or Stephanie's fault that she's dead right now. It's just not. And people want to blame them and vilify the WWE for shit that you hear, rumors, bullshit, most of which is fucking garbage.
I don't know why people
can't. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting.
I don't know why people just can't respect that somebody just passed away and just, celebrate this person's life and look at the good stuff she did. You can even look at, the mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. Nobody here, not you, not I, nobody in the chat here is going to go through life without making a mistake. You're not perfect. No. When you have to make money, you have to make money. In her case, in 2004, all the way up until 2013, what she did, she made money because she had to provide for herself. And then on top of that, from one of the earliest interviews that I've talked about, when she talked about, her departure from WWE, is that she couldn't use Chyna whatsoever. It was like in the contract that she couldn't go underneath and do anything under this name. Like when she went to the surreal life and things like that. So it's a sad situation. It's very
that's
unfortunate.
A marketing thing. I mean, hell, one of the only people that ever got their goddamn name given from Vince was The Rock. It doesn't happen. It's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, people just respect for a lot of fucking God, just respect what's going on. With this is a very sad situation, not just for the business, for her friends and family, and for everybody that's ever interacted with her on Twitter. And when somebody says something on Twitter about, hey, I'm gonna miss you or whatever, what made me last night? I almost cried on the stream. I saw Chavo Guerrero's tweet.
Yeah.
He said something about Eddie Guerrero and her. I almost fucking like lost. I literally had like take myself back. Just even talking about it now gives me like chills. And then the tweet, when I went off the air, I was going through Twitter and I saw Goldust's tweet and I was like, fuck, I gotta get away from that. I gotta get away from the computer.
Yeah.
Like I went upstairs, I went to sleep. I couldn't fucking like, I started like literally about to cry like a little girl. Because Goldust's tweet like fucking, because it hit. Because when you're young, these are the people you grow up on. This is, if you're a wrestling fan, this is what you grew up on. This is what you enjoyed. And when you first saw Chyna, she was a polarizing figure. There was nobody ever before her and after her that looked like her and did what she did. Intercontinental Championship, the things she accomplished, you mentioned Playboy earlier, all the stuff that she accomplished, breaking absolute boundaries, things that 20 years before her would never, you would never see.
Yeah.
Never see. 10 years, 5 years before her, you would not see in the business. She broke through all of that.
Yeah.
And she made careers. You can arguably say that Chris Jericho's career would not have been made without her.
So many. There's a lot of people that she helped put over. There's a lot of people that she helped make. The fact that she was able to evolve too, because when she started, the way she looked, I mean, she was a spectacle. She was something that you looked at and was just like, oh, that's interesting. But you didn't look at her any more than just a muscle bodyguard, somebody who was just there to put paint on her. She was a sideshow in some respects. And then as time went on, she changed her body. Some people would say that's a negative, but she realized that the evolution of what her character needed to become, and she was willing to do that. And that says a lot about who she is. But she didn't lose what made her special either. It's just, she's a remarkably fucking interesting person, man.
Yeah.
The DVD is going to be amazing. Can you imagine that DVD when it does come out?
Night. I didn't say much about, I didn't say things like that last night. I thought about it last night, when I did the live thing. I didn't even do my intros. I just kind of went live.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't. Somebody said something about, oh, I'm just trying to make money. I was like, actually, fuck boy, my video is not monetized right now. There's no ads running when you click on it. There's still no ads. So I'm not here to monetize and make money off of somebody's death. And I understand that, especially if you're a news outlet and you're on YouTube and this is how you make money, that if your video has an ad running through it, and it's something about, it's not just Chyna. They've done it with celebrities before. If you're a legitimate news outlet, but like I mentioned, this other fuck boy who did 3 videos within an hour just to get hits, update this, update that, just bullshit. And when I go live, I'm gonna fucking. I was actually gonna make a video about a 5 or 10 minute video about, monetizing death and just abusing the views and the thumbnails and the titles and things like that, because this is not a situation. If somebody gets injured, I get it. The What the Fuck show is, the thumbnail is the person that I'm talking about, first, and it has a WTF logo on it. I get that. But, when, even my thumbnail, I'll put up a thumbnail for my, originally before the thumbnail now that you see is much different. Originally, I just put something together to kind of go live because people were messaging me. And then after I went off live, I've edited, it took me about 20, 25 minutes, and I edited this thumbnail with this new graphics that I'm doing, kind of a cartoon look, and I think it looks great, so, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those things, man.
Well, people are going to exploit. I mean, that's just what's going to, and I'm not even going to hate on the people that are going to exploit. I'm not even going to hate on it. I get it. I understand. You and we're a little different. We're really, I don't know if people know this about you and I, but we're really fucking passionate about this shit. Not just wrestling, but YouTubing. It's something we really enjoy doing for different reasons, but we really enjoy what we do. And not everybody does that. There are a lot of people on YouTube in the wrestling community that are just here to make money. They're just about themselves. There's a passion that goes into this. I watched your video this morning. That was how I found out. I went on Twitter and I saw your video pop up, and I saw how emotional you got, man. And I was going to go on and do a video when I woke up, but Exploit was being a fucking asshole all day and wasn't on for the entire time. Josh Hampton, I will take your call in a moment. Can you see I'm having a good conversation with Too Tall? Don't worry. It's coming. Don't worry, Josh Hampton. I will take your call. But, I just wanted to talk about Chyna. I wanted to emote. You know, I had all day. I've had this fucking emotion building up inside of me. And then fucking Prince dies. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And I love Prince. So these are two people that changed their industry. Changed their fucking industry in poignant, meaningful, and long-lasting ways. And really, all I want to do is celebrate. I just want to celebrate their fucking lives. I wish I could be playing Prince music right now. I wish that I could be playing Chyna's theme music, which is one of my favorite theme songs of all time, by the way. One of my favorite entrance songs of all time is Chyna's. It's badass. Don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man. Don't treat me like you know me. Treat me for just who I am. Ow! It was fucking badass, dude. I loved it, man. I'm hyped. Fucking just thinking about it. Then she came out with that big fucking rocket launcher.
Can somebody fucking just block Joe Martin? I'm just sick and tired of this dude on comments. Whoever's in there, just block him. I'm tired of it. I'm fucking just tired of it. I don't care if the kid hates me or not. He doesn't. It's either he's just a troll or he doesn't understand. Like he's not there fully to understand. But I'm just tired of it, and it's just pissing people off.
Pretty goddamn annoying.
Put him on timeout twice or block him. Get the fuck out of here.
He's pretty fucking annoying. And then sometimes he can be a really, really good caller, man. He's a weird cat, and he's a kid. I give him a pass. He's a kid.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Just doesn't get it.
He's fucking saying that I need to talk about Prince, but I talked about Prince a little bit. This is mainly.
Why don't you, Joe Martin, run your own fucking show, and then you can talk about whatever you feel like you should talk about.
That's right. Go get a YouTube channel and see how many people give a flying fuck. The people barely care about me. Let's see what they'll do with you. You'll get your ass torn to fucking pieces, and I guarantee you're probably not strong enough to fucking take it. But it's okay, Joe. Still got love for you. Stop being an asshole.
I don't. Please don't subscribe to my channel.
Good God. Good God. So, on the point of positivity, what's one of your favorite Chyna moments, man?
Dude, there's so many. Like Eddie Guerrero and Chyna. Like I just think that my favorite parts about watching Chyna was Eddie Guerrero and Chyna, and then her breaking away from him. That storyline was nice. Yeah. It was neat. The IC title win. That was like one of the most surprising things I've seen. So I mean, there's a lot of moments, but I don't think it's belts for me. I just think it's like the character development, like the Eddie Guerrero, her and Eddie Guerrero's
they had great chemistry.
And, yeah, right, and and how it developed, and then how she broke away from him and things like that. Man. It was I think like stuff like that is neat.
You know the moment that I knew she was going to be something really fucking special? She scared the dog shit out of me. When she grabbed and shook Marlena like a rag doll. Remember that moment? She picked up Marlena, who's a tiny little chick, and just shook her like she was going to kill her. It was terrifying. When she took out Sergeant Slaughter, when she elbowed him when she forearmed him right in the face. And the things that she would do with DX too. Do you know how hard it had to be for her not to laugh at some of the shit that they were doing inside of the ring most of the time? She brought a lot of smiles, man. She was a lot of fun. And the evolution, like I said, her evolution is amazing. What she started out as and what she finished her wrestling career as, it really is quite a thing to look at. And then she got hurt. Remember the injury angle with her and Ivory? That was crazy.
That I remember like vividly.
And then
I was so young. So
what was that?
Like being so young, you have like selective memory.
Yeah.
On some of the stuff. Like I'm sure if I saw like the first 10 seconds, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember like this, remember that. But or maybe it's my old age. I'm just old as fuck.
You're 26.
I'm old. Like I'm old, man. I'm almost as old as you. I'm like old man Dave old, man.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember you could make the argument that she was one of the reasons why Right to Censor even got over. Right to Censor was a fucking annoying group. And it was Ivory's feud with her that really did. I mean, when she took out Chyna with hurt her neck and stuff, and then Chyna coming back and all the. I remember she did an interview where she wasn't sure if she was ever going to wrestle again. She was crying, fucking emotional shit, man. It was crazy. There's just so many. God, man, there's so many freaking moments from her career. And you mentioned that Chavo Guerrero tweet. You know,
don't read it. Don't read it. It's hard.
It's really sad.
It is.
JR continues to write about him too. He's write about her, I should say. He's being quite affected by it. Let's bring in another perspective real quick. I believe this is 618. What you got for me, 618? You're live with Dan and Dave.
What's up, Dave, man? What's up, Tutar? How y'all doing today, man?
What's up?
Not fantastic, but we're getting through.
Yeah, I know, man. Tutar, brother. I sent your video this morning on YouTube. I watched it, man. I damn near cried myself, man, about Chyna. I think the Chavo Guerrero tweet had me in tears, bro. And then I wake up a few hours later and I hear about Prince, man. Like, this is not making no sense. Like, all the good ones go so young, man. They didn't deserve to die like this did.
57 years old, man. I mean, it's Prince is one of the most interesting people. They're both. That's one thing they have in common. They both are fucking fascinating people. Some of the things that they did in their lives, you know, Chyna and for what she did, completely different reasons as for Prince. But Prince, his story, it's one of the most interesting things you'll ever fucking read about. The stories about him, the ones that were allowed to be told, I should say, are fascinating, man.
You know, yeah.
He's got a vault. He's got a vault in his house. That is just full of music and movies. Kevin Smith's documentary is in that vault. Maybe some of that stuff is going to start seeing the light of day.
You're right. And here's my thing about, I hear about all these people on the internet about Triple H is not going to vote her to the Hall of Fame. I think that's going to happen, Dave. And Tucson, I think she will be in the Hall of Fame. Like you said earlier, it might not be next year, but it'll be soon, man. She deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, she's going to get in now because there's the biggest reason they could say, look, Triple H handled that situation from that question from Stone Cold about as well as he could. Anything else he would have said would have only made the situation worse. I think that people are going to pick it apart because he made the porn remark, whatever. But I think he handled it about as well as he could have at that moment. That being said, we all know that's not the reason why she wasn't getting in. She wasn't getting in because they were not giving her a fucking microphone. They were not letting her speak in front of people.
Right.
And she's a wild card. You don't know what she was going to do or say. Now they don't have to worry about that. It's sad, but she's much more likely to get in soon now.
Yeah, that's why Dave mentioned Ultimate Warrior earlier. It's the same thing. Like, they're scared of what he would have said in his speech. Same with Jake the Snake Roberts. There's a lot of people that's like that.
Well, they were terrified what Medusa was going to say, what Alundra Blaze.
Oh yeah.
Right. Now, this is I want to say 2 times day on day. I want to say thank you guys for being here for all of us, because a lot of people are down and out, and we're going through a lot of stuff in our lives. You can go on YouTube and hear you guys, because I've been through hell the last 3 weeks. On Easter Sunday, I lost a brother-in-law to an overdose. I buried him 2 weeks ago, and now we got the lady from everybody hates Raymond Doris. She died a couple of days ago. Then Chyna, now Prince. It's like it all comes in threes, man. And for all these people here that's talking shit about them, making fun of their deaths and their videos, grow a pair of balls and grow the fuck up. Because this is actual life, man. People need to grow the fuck up and have respect for the dead,
People are disgusting, man. I'm really sorry to hear about your troubles, but I'm glad that we're able to provide a little bit of a distraction, man. And I do appreciate your support, and I appreciate your call, man. You have a really good night, buddy.
You too. 2 talk down there. Everybody in the chat, I love y'all. Y'all be easy.
Take it easy, buddy.
Thank you, man.
That was nice.
Finally got a good caller. Not fucking Joe Martin's dumbass.
Good God. Kakarabia says, Chyna destroying Ivory at WrestleMania 17. That was tough. That was a good one, too, yeah. That was a good one, too. There's all kinds of great fucking moments, man. Were you a Prince guy?
No.
No, really?
I've never got into. I don't even like to the. I don't. The only thing I know about Prince is Dave Chappelle, and this is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit and be like, yeah, man, I know about Prince. I found out about Prince when Dave Chappelle did a skit, and the last thing I've ever seen Prince do is he was on an episode of New Girl.
Yes, he was,
last
and
year.
he killed it. He killed it.
Oh yeah, he was awesome, right? But as far as his music, I don't know. That's why I haven't really.
Did you ever watch Purple Rain?
Huh?
You ever see Purple Rain?
No.
Oh my God! Just for the motherfucking time, you got to go see Purple Rain.
No.
Morris Day and the Time. Oh my God, it's so good. My jungle love. Oh we oh. That's good stuff. All right, joining us now is the oldest young man I know, besides me, of course, AJ Tucker. AJ Tucker, how you doing, man? How's the night treating you? You're live with that on Dave and Too Tall. What you got?
Well, it's a very sad day, unfortunately.
Oh, you sound like a refried donkey dick there, AJ. Something's wrong with your connection.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it good now?
You're better now. What you got?
Just like this month has been like we lost Balls Mahoney at early age. I think he was like early mid-40s, and now like Chyna and Prince. It's just, oh man.
We're not even that far removed from David Bowie.
Oh yeah, was David Bowie this month?
No, he was not this month, but we're not a couple of months ago, and we're not that far removed from it.
Yeah, and Too Tall, it's funny that you say that, because actually, like, Dave Chappelle sketch with Charlie Murphy was actually how I found about Prince. Like, I'd never really listened to his music, but that's how I found out about him. But it was the sketch from Dave Chappelle.
That was a great sketch. That's one of my favorite Dave Chappelle sketches. I actually like that better than the Rick James one.
I like the Rick James better.
I like the Rick James story because it was so good. But that Prince story, I mean,
it was funny.
Just the whole damn. I fucking love that story.
Like when they were playing basketball and stuff, that was hilarious.
Ah, so good. Computer blue, diamond cookie.
Computer blue.
Ow. The hump in the basketball. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was funny. And then the pancakes, those were good. That was good too.
I love that. But, oh my God, it's so good, so good. What else you got for me, AJ?
Chyna, that's just really, like, I remember I found out this morning, and it was just very, like, sudden, unexpected. Mid-40s, that's just, it's always sad to see, like, someone, especially saying how she really changed the women's division.
Yeah.
And at least in my opinion, because at that time, it was really, like looks and like Trish Stratus and like Lita, like the pretty women and stuff.
Well, hell,
that.
she predated all them, man. I mean, that's the thing. When she came in, some of the biggest ladies in the company, it was Sunny. You know, I mean, she came on the heels of Sunny. You got to remember, Chyna came in around 96-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 96, 97.
And she came on the heels of Sunny and all these real models. I mean, say what you want about Trish and Lita. They got in because of looks, but they also became two of the best in-ring competitors.
Well, yeah, and I'm not taking anything away with that, but like at that time, it was like bra and panties match or whatever, and then she just kind of came in like, she was like just this like
she was so different.
Powerhouse.
She was so different.
He was very different. Like came in bodyguard for DX, just some funny stuff. Like she was involved with the swearing, the press conference thing. That was hilarious.
Yeah, she just stood in the background. Yeah, that was great. She had a good thing with Mark Henry too, man. That was, I mean, arguably what made him sexual chocolate. I mean, it was great stuff.
I forgot about that.
Mark Henry was trying to win her over. That shit was and they got into a bar fight together. That was hysterical.
Yeah, that was some good TV, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, she was just a part of like some good moments. My personal favorite was the Eddie stuff. That was just some good
Mamacita.
TV. Like, yeah, I think that created the Latino heat.
Yeah.
That was what created it. So that was just like, she helped so many people, man. Like you guys said, Chris Jericho. Eddie Guerrero is just like
Chris Jericho really needed her too. That's the funny thing. Chris Jericho, actually, that feud that he had with her really helped his career, because people forget the early days of Chris Jericho. He was up and down, man. It didn't look like he was going to make it for a little while. He was up and down. He'd get a push, and then he'd be cooled off. Then he'd get brought back up. And then really, the Chyna thing could have been a death sentence. It turned into a fantastic angle. So she really did a lot for a lot of people.
And to think that this woman would not eventually, but was about to become WWE or F champion at the time. That's just incredible. That she was so over in the Attitude Era, like with DX, over. And then she went by herself, and then just went more over with the RTC stuff. So it's just great stuff.
I agree. And AJ, final thoughts? Anything else?
No, not really. Just very sad to see those two icons pass away, and I'll just let you guys continue your show. So that's all I got. Much appreciated, AJ. You have yourself a good night, buddy. It's been a crazy day. Friggin', I don't know if you saw my messages earlier. Goddamn XSplit was not letting me go on. It was down for a lot of people today. And then it just came back up magically. XSplit's the greatest. Did I tell you what XSplit did for me? What did XSplit do for you? Well, or like so I had XSplit since beta, right? And if you have XSplit since beta, my subscription was just about to be up. I think I had like a 3 years or 2 year subscription. And if you're a Pioneer user, if you're a user since beta, you can get a lifetime license for $50 instead of $450. Good God. So I paid $50 for a lifetime license. Not bad. Which is fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm ecstatic about it. I've never had a problem with XSplit up until today. Today was the first major problem that I had. First major problem. Joe Martin, he just said something interesting. He goes, I love how Dave is chill when Too Tall is not here, but when he joins, it's a whole new story. No, because I've thrown your ass over the top rope plenty of times when Too Tall's not here. It's when you say things like this that really fucking annoys the balls off of me. But it's not my fault you tend to call in right around the same time Too Tall calls in, and then I give you a chance to talk and you just fucking blah, 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 blah. And I got someone who's actually fucking interesting, who actually adds things to the show in Too Tall, so he gets fucking preference. Now, I didn't want to say any of this, but now you're actually pissing the fuck off of me right now, so I'm going to give it to you. You want my attention? Now you fucking got it, all right? You're lucky I fucking let you on the goddamn show at all, because you very rarely fucking contribute anything worth fucking note. Now, I don't want to say any of this on air. I don't want to be a dickhead. But God, you annoy the fucking balls off me, Joe. Now, I know what you're going to do here. You're going to go, oh, well, I'm going to change. But you do this all the fucking time. This is just constant you. I've seen the light. And then you're going to fucking troll. And it's what you fucking do. And Too Tall holds his tongue most of the fucking time about it. And now you want to be a goddamn baby. Move the fuck on. As Tommy C says, upper right hand fucking corner click. I got no problem with you moving the fuck on. Believe me. Anyway. Good God. I wonder if you can sit down after that rape. I feel, yeah, I know. Jesus. Just annoyed. Let's bring in a guy I love to talk to. We go from an annoyance and aggravation to one of my favorite fucking people. Definitely one of my top 5 favorite French people. It's Frenchie Ben from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. What's up, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great with that intro. You like me more than François Hollande?
Yes. I like you more than I like Bret Hart.
Oh, that says great things about me.
You're right there, sandwiched.
You don't like Bret Hart.
No, I don't like Bret Hart. But you're sandwiched between Wayne Gretzky and Matt Kazar. So...
That's a big range.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. What's going on, my friend? How are you doing? I know this is a rough day.
Yeah, I was I Too Tall first.
Hello.
I came back from my tenant's place and I looked at my Google Plus. I saw that Dead on Dave was going live about China and music lose legend.
Yeah.
So I was telling myself, who died? And I checked, and that's Prince. But you know what? Because he died, it's the first time of my life that I checked that. Why he changed his name for the symbol, the artist.
Yeah, that was controversial. Go ahead and fill us all in.
Do you know why?
No, please tell me.
Okay, it happened in '93.
It happened that early?
Yeah, he released an album in '89, the Batman album. And he had a contract with the Warner Brothers for 5 new albums. And he began to be pissed about the music industry because he was producing a lot. And as you told, he has a vault with more than 500 songs.
Yes.
So he wanted to release them. And because he's a true artist, he wanted to make albums with lots of songs. And Warner Brothers wanted to milk the cow.
Yeah.
So they wanted to release it slowly but surely because they don't want it to flood the music industry and radio with the Prince songs.
Yeah.
So he decided to begin to piss them off, and eventually it brought him out of his contract later in 2000. But by changing his name with that symbol, at the time the computer were not what they are today. So lots of mainstream news media couldn't produce that font. So Warner Brothers had to send every news outlet in the world a disc with the new font, with the symbol. So it was a way to piss them off.
That's funny.
Yeah, and so they finally agreed to release Greatest Hits album. So it was one of the 5, and then he released 4 others. But it took since 2000 to bring back his freedom, and he was released from his contract.
Yeah, I do remember that story. I remember that he is a weird cat, man. He was a weird cat, and very private, very private. Almost anybody who knew him, there was non-disclosure agreements and all kinds of crazy shit. Just like I said earlier, if you want to hear just an amazing story, go listen to Kevin Smith talk about the documentary that he made for Prince. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, Kevin Smith is good. And Chyna, of course, we saw with AJ Tucker. I can't believe the result of the network. He knows more about wrestling at that time than me. So
yeah, AJ knows a lot about wrestling, man. Hell, not just the 90s. He knows a lot of 80s and 70s shit too. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Chyna was one of a kind. I never been a fan of her, but you have to admit that she changed a part of the industry, the women wrestling and not the transgender, but the intergender matches and things of that nature was great.
You know, she just had this. She changed entertainment in a lot of ways. The way the things that she was able to do. So many different layers to her. I mean, she was pigeonholed. She had this one look that everyone thought this is who she was going to be. Then she became different variations of that. And it's quite incredible, man. If you would have told me that Scott Hall, of all people, would have gotten his life together and moved on and become a darling in a lot of ways for, in at least in the wrestling circles again, before Chyna, I would have never fucking thought that was possible. Because there was a time where I was just sitting here just wondering who was going to go first. Chyna, Scott Hall, Jake Roberts. And Jake and Scott got help, and yet Chyna didn't. And who is it? Because I want to know why. Why was she the one who was unreachable? You know what I mean? Like that. These are questions that just haunt me. Is it because she didn't want the help, she didn't feel like she needed the help, or were people not trying hard enough? I don't know. But those are questions that are going to be answered over the years. And just the fascinating stories that are going to be told. It's a lot of bullshit is going to come out too. It's going to be ugly and it's going to be terrible, but fuck, man.
She's probably somebody who wore a mask almost all of her life just to protect herself. And it's bizarre sometimes who dies first. You have to remember that Keith Richards is still alive.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Keith Richards still kicked. Mick Jagger still goddamn alive. Keith Richards probably still gets blood transplants. All the Ozzy Osbourne still fucking alive.
Yeah.
More drugs than anybody. These guys have probably handwritten thank you notes from Pablo fucking Escobar, and yet some of these goddamn young wrestlers are dying off. It's apples and oranges in a lot of ways because of the physical abuse and stuff, but it's terrible. It's fucking terrible, man.
So that's my take on it today. Rest in peace, Chyna and Prince, formerly known as the artist.
That's right. Well done as always, Frenchie Ben. You have yourself a good night, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.
Take it easy. I love me some Frenchie Ben. I love the Montreal, Quebec, Canada accent. Yeah. So, for the rest of the night, what are you doing, man? Are you doing a live reaction show for the SmackDowns?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I got to be honest. I'm in a lot of friggin' pain. I don't know if I'm doing anything.
Last night we did the NXT, then I did my first UFC live episode.
Yes, you did. The UFC. Now you're delving into the world of UFC.
I wanted to get the game. I really didn't see an opening to like put it on the channel. And then I started, and I did like last night, I did about an hour and a half. If it's funny because I lost my final match or whatever, or my fight to move on to the quarterfinals in my career mode. And as soon as I stopped streaming, I fucking like knocked this dude out in 10 seconds. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like I couldn't capture this fucking moment.
Yeah.
Good God, that's great.
It's fucking terrible. But I got that. I got to do another 2K16 career mode episode. I got to put together. That's going to still continue to be uploaded. I don't know if I'm going to do UFC 2 career mode live still. I think that's a neat concept. It's still not bad to have another like a live game show. Or gaming video game. So I can, it is what it is. I set it up so it can be live, or I can cut it up and do it just like this. But
options are always the way to go, man.
I like getting content, like recording content and then editing it. Like that's really like with the 2K16 stuff. I really like editing it. My thumbnails in the last couple of days, I've really like messing with like the cartoonish look and I just want to look different than other people on the internet. You do seem to
be getting into the creative side, the behind the scenes editing, the production point of it. You seem to be really getting into it as of late. That's awesome.
Yeah. Like my thumbnail for SmackDown tonight is better than I think I've done in all my SmackDowns. I got a bunch of different mixtures in there. Got that cartoon thing going on again. I just like that look. Nobody else is doing that for their thumbnails, and I think it's a good look for to be different.
I think it's important to separate yourself a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And it doesn't make me look so fat.
That's the key to everything. If you can find a way to fucking slim down a little bit, that's always a very important factor.
Damn Photoshop.
Where's his thigh gap? He's got no thigh gap anymore. I got a question for you regarding SmackDown. You think they're going to have... do you think that they put in a package for Chyna tonight?
They might do something. I think they should put a package in talking about or saying something, there's going to be a special presentation on Raw or something like that. Yeah. Just because SmackDown's taped, and a lot of people don't still understand that SmackDown's taped, because a lot of people on my channel last night were like, are they going to do anything on SmackDown? I'm like, nope, it was taped, so you're not going to see anybody. But here's the thing. Again, WWE's going to lose no matter what. If they do something and people don't feel like it's good enough, they're going to fucking be internet cunt bags.
They are.
And if they don't do anything, people are going to be like, well, fuck you. You're not even going to fuck, it sucks. If, as a company that you're going to be looked at bad no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, basically.
I think they should do something, I think they should obviously, if they mention, they mention. If they don't, I'm assuming they're waiting until Raw, until a live show to do something. I'm not going to be like, fuck you, WWE.
I think they're at least going to do the bell
bitch.
tolls. I think they're going to do something in memory of Chyna. I think that they have to put something in there at the beginning of the show tonight.
Yeah, I think we'll see that.
Mainly because I know that they know the scrutiny that they're going to be under, because they're going to be heavily scrutinized. Scrutinized, no matter what they do. But I thought it was classy that Stephanie and Hunter did that. That they were two of the first to really put it out. Hunter was a little bit later, but I think Stephanie was the first of anybody.
Yeah.
And you could say some of that's guilt, but what is so wrong with that? That I don't understand that. I don't understand why vilify them for writing something like they can't express remorse for someone's death, especially if they may have wronged her.
And if they don't, they're gonna get burned. That's the fuck.
Jesus.
Like no matter what, whoever they lose. Because if they don't do anything, they get burned.
Yeah.
If they do anything, they get burned.
Like, if they don't do anything, it's way worse. If nothing was said, if they just ignored it, that's some heartless. I mean, I would have been out. Done. Because scumbaggery of that level, I can't tolerate. I can't. Just from a moral standpoint, I would not be able to support a company like that. Just could not do it. Because she's still a fucking human being. Still a human being, and who made a hell of a lot of fucking money for them and the industry. Jesus, that should be respected. I don't care how the fuck she died. Doesn't matter. That needs to be respected.
Yeah.
So.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I know. I feel you too, brother. Man, you touched me emotionally, man, when I watched your video.
I was gonna go, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for people kind of like joining in, like, well, not like the people that have never been there before. We had a couple people that have never been there, but like honestly, like we had like 20, 25, maybe 32 at some point, and it was really all subscribers. And if it wasn't for them like trying to talk about it, I would have done like a 15-minute video, if that, and because right after the Eddie Guerrero tweet from Chavo, I couldn't, dude. I was shaking and shit. Like you couldn't see it, but like my legs were shaking and shit, and I was trying to like also move my legs so I can kind of stay calm a little bit, because it was again, we grew up on these people when I was a child, and wrestling impacted my life in a huge way in 1997, 98, because it was the first time I was introduced to anything aside from, like a war, basically, like what I lived through in my life in Bosnia or whatever. And so like wrestling was the first escape for me to like, oh, okay, look at these people. They're doing this. This is interesting. It's fun. It's entertaining. I forgot about things, because I just, and
it was an escape. It was an escape.
Yeah, it was a huge escape. And, I'm never going to forget those moments. That's why when people are, oh, who's your favorite wrestler? Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin, because, he was a huge influence to when I was a kid, and pretty much every wrestler that you saw back then, they had their personality. Yes, it was out there, it wasn't PG and all that stuff, but it wasn't about that for me. It was about like, look at what these people can do. Like, I never knew that people can do this. Like, I didn't know anything about wrestling. And then I never knew that you can do this, and you can be a star, a superstar, or like a Hollywood actor. And none of that shit existed to me until moving to the United States. So just seeing that on TV like every Monday was amazing. And Raw was what I clicked on first. I wasn't one of those people that clicked back and forth on Nitro. Raw was what I clicked on, and I just stayed on Raw. I just watched Raw.
I was a WCW guy. I gotta admit I was a WCW mark, but I watched both. I taped one, watched the other. And then I would flip back and forth. But yeah. What I'd like to do now to kind of end the show up, is I'm going to wrap this thing up here soon, is everybody's talking about, the polarizing figure that she was in her personal life and everything. Well, this polarizing figure had a whole lot of people that said a lot of really amazing things about her, and people you wouldn't suspect. So what I'd like to do now is read off some of these tweets. I'll stay away from the Chavo one. I don't want to get too
I'm not
emotional.
even sure I'm going to listen to any of them because it's a little hard.
It's hard, but I just feel it's an appropriate way to wrap it up. We're going to start with MVPs. This shot of Abiki 30 is for Joni. I hope you have peace. Bill DeMott, Hugh Morris. Sad to hear that one of the people responsible for the women's movement in wrestling has passed. Rest in peace, Chyna. Zeb Coulter, Dutch fucking Mantel. Rest in peace, Joni Laurer, a.k.a. Chyna. Condolences to her family and friends. Marcelo Rodriguez. And it's in Spanish. I'm not even going to try. Natty, my prayers go out to Joni Laurer and her family. It's very sad to hear the news. Chyna's revolutionary. Some of the other people who wrote. Michael P.S. Hayes. The Total Divas website. Yes, the Total Divas website. Oh, Jesus. Mick Foley. BG James. Fucking the Road Dog. With a couple of really, really nice tweets. Bailey, the one of the new faces of the women's division. Amy DeMoss, better known as Lita. Sasha Banks. Charlotte. Darren Young. Mark Henry became sexual chocolate because of her. Howard Finkel. Becky Lynch again. Byron Saxon. Zach Gowen. Katrina Waters. Shelton Benjamin. Goldust. Ariane Andrew. Cameron. You're Too Tall's favorite, Cameron. Trish Stratus. I mean, just the list it's incredible. Incredible. She touched so many people. And in that industry where you work in such close proximity, it's even the bad eventually goes away. The person, the people, the things that they make you feel, the memories that last for the rest of your life, man. That's what we're going to remember about Chyna. We're not going to remember all the controversies. I'm going to remember her shaking the shit out of Marlena. I'm going to remember Latino Heat. I'm going to remember Sexual Chocolate. I'm going to remember all of these things because that's the gift that she gave me, man. And I'm appreciative of that. And wherever she is, I hope she's found peace. I mean that sincerely. And I hope you guys have a really good night. I hope you enjoy SmackDown. Don't know if I'm going to do a review. It all depends if I'm awake, man. I'm not sure. I might fall asleep in 5 minutes here, to be completely honest. It's 1:30 in the morning. I think that's forgivable. But I appreciate you guys. And if there's one thing that you could take away from an actual life lesson from all of this, if you have any beef with people that you think that there's no way you'll ever be able to squash it, remember, life isn't infinite, man. Eventually, time's going to run out. Don't left things unsaid. Sometimes it's just better to get it over with and talk to the person that you may have had some issues with. Or go ahead and take that fucking hatred to the grave, because we're all going to the ground eventually, right? So fuck it. Thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Hope you had a nice time with Dead on Dave Live. Make sure you check out my co-host, my good buddy, Too Tall over at XLT Live Podcast. Thank you guys very much once again. We'll see you a little bit later. Enjoy SmackDown tonight. Too Tall, anything else that I may have forgotten, missed, whatevers?
No, I don't think you have, man. I think you're good.
Pound it. All right. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you next time right here at Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, share. Hit the like button on the way out, folks. Hit the like button on the way out. And we'll see you next time. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Keep it copious, people. Take care of each other. Peace.